I am Jim. This is the Speedway Leger Pro. First Look Friday. Alright, the Leger Pro. Just a little bit of an update, well I guess maybe depending on your perspective, a pretty big update to the Speedway Leger. We've bumped up battery capacity to 52 volts, and I'm not remembering off the top of my head here, it says on the badge, 25.6 amp hours. So almost 26 amp hours, so this should be a bit of a range monster. The efficiency of these motors should kind of help out. And I kind of have an inkling this might be kind of pushing on some of these other scooters that are kind of known for their range, kind of like the eMove Cruiser. So I've just charged this up. I haven't ridden it at all. You can see I kind of got the brake a little bit in the wrong spot there. I moved it away from the accidentally when I tightened it up. But don't know if you can see the lighting. You got the front and rear deck lights. They do, you know, okay job as far as deck lights do. And then you got that little side visibility with the Leger logo. Turns on there and off there with the button. Charge port's right next to it. I've always liked the deck style of the Leger with these kind of long ways ridges along with the grip tape. It makes for a nice deck surface, and the wing of course gives you that nice stability. You got that rear Minimotors motor. I don't know what the peak output rating is. I think it's probably in the 1800 watt range. Minimotors doesn't do the nominal rating thing like a lot of those companies do. And it looks to me like maybe they put a little nicer front rim on the Leger Pro here. Then something a little interesting, we got dual drum brakes. I like this idea. We'll see how they perform and how it stops in video number 2. I'll get into my performance data. But here I'm just gonna let you see how this works. We got a continuously adjustable stem here. It goes up and down. No presets in there. Really robust stem. Like it's a large diameter stem. That does make it a little difficult to carry as far as portability goes. I don't even know the advertised weight or the actual weight at this point. I'm just trying to show you this thing real quick. Motor cutoffs, got a bell, i3 display. Let's ride it. So you might not be able to hear that with the road noise. A touch gruntier than some of the Minimotors motors are often. So we got a very, you know, ginger speed limit 1 here. Hopefully the GPS is kicking in, giving you a feel for what the speed is. Display it says 11. That feels pretty accurate. Maybe 10, 11 sounds good. All right, we're in speed limit 2 here. Let's see. Let's see what we got here on. So we got 8.5-inch air-filled tires. The stability can kind of almost come all the way to a stop. They're fairly wide. I have them inflated a little bit below the recommended 50 psi. They're about 37. The ride feels very firm, but this scooter is just out of the box. Yeah, we got, how many miles we got on here? 1.1. Feels quite firm. All right, we're in speed limit 3. We're just gonna tear, let it go. Let's see what happens. Oh man, well, we got some pretty serious speed. I just rode another scooter from Minimotors USA, the Future Gun, with smaller tires. It actually felt a little more stable than this. Just at that speed, I kind of started getting a little freaked out there. I typically ride like a little under 20 miles per hour. So having that and above available to me in speed limit 2 is nice. Of course, this is fully charged. One of the benefits of having a 52 volt scooter versus a 48 volt scooter is when you get a little deeper into the battery, you still have a little more power, just because you have more voltage. So your speed sag would tend to be a little less pronounced. I kind of was expecting this to be a real luxurious, comfy ride, and I think it will soften up, but it's a lot firmer than I expected. Wish I had smell-o-vision, because this smells amazing right here, right now. It smells so good. I do like the brake feel on these drum brake scooters. There isn't as much of a tendency to lock them up, but at the same time you do get good braking. One of the best things about electric scooters, if you haven't ridden them or you're new to them, is the quickness that you can navigate parts of town like this. My go-to transportation is a bike, but there are places where having the compactness to be able to just throw it in really any car and get around quickly is really the niche that I feel these scooters are best at. And having a scooter like this with so much battery capacity, it either means, one, you can ride a long ways, which I have a hard time riding over 20 miles. It ends up being kind of taxing. Some people can do it, and my hat's off to you if that's the case. The thing that I think is maybe even more valuable with some of these bigger battery scooters is if you don't want to charge it often. If you're only riding a couple miles, even if you're doing that every day, you could ride this thing for a week without charging it. What you got going on there? All right, we're playing a really lame game of Frogger right now. The biggest negative with scooters is you get seen even less than bikes. Even though I'm tall, I'm not tall, I'm standing tall. We're just not very visible on scooters. It's just not what people are expecting. And also because your limbs aren't moving, like your legs aren't moving, there's kind of a illusion of speed, or there doesn't seem to be speed when there is speed. It's an interesting phenomenon on scooters. All right, this is my first look here at the Speedway Leger Pro. Pretty interesting. It zips right along with the 52 volts. I'm a little surprised that it's not a little cushier. I was expecting like a super plush ride, but it kind of promised to have. It should have a lot of range, and the 8.5 inch wide tires feel quite stable. Interesting scooter. I'll be testing it. I'll be range testing a whole bunch of stuff soon. So talk to you then.
Catch the wave. Feel